Have you ever felt like the days are getting shorter? Not because time is moving faster, but because life feels like an endless race. You wake up to the sound of an alarm. Before your feet even touch the floor, you're already checking your phone. There are messages to answer, emails to read, news to catch up on, and social media waiting for your attention. The day hasn't even started, yet your mind is already exhausted. Then the hours pass in a blur. Breakfast becomes something you eat while scrolling. Lunch is finished between meetings. Dinner happens while watching another video. And before you know it, it's time to sleep. Another day is over. But did you truly experience it? Or did you simply survive it? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about something many of us secretly long for, but rarely allow ourselves to have. A slower life, not a lazy life, not an unproductive life, just a slower one. Because somewhere along the way, we started believing that being busy means being successful. We admire people who work 16 hours a day. We praise those who never seem to rest. We feel guilty when we spend an afternoon doing absolutely nothing. Somehow, resting has become something we think we have to earn. But think about that for a moment. Why should peace be a reward instead of a way of living? The truth is, the world has never moved this fast before. Technology has made almost everything instant. We can order food with a few taps, send a message across the world in seconds, finish work from anywhere, watch thousands of videos in a single evening. Everything is faster. But are we happier? Many people would say no. Because while technology saves us time, we often fill that extra time with even more work, more notifications, more commitments, and more pressure. Instead of slowing down, we simply speed up. We live in a culture that celebrates productivity. Being busy has become a symbol of ambition. When someone asks, "How are you?" the answer is often, "I'm so busy." And strangely, we say it with pride, as if being overwhelmed proves that we're doing something important. But being busy and living a meaningful life are not the same thing. Imagine climbing a ladder every single day. You're working harder than ever. You're moving faster than everyone else. But after years of climbing, you realize the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. That's what happens when we spend our lives chasing speed without asking ourselves where we're actually going. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't to run faster, it's to stop, to breathe, to look around. Nature understands this better than we do. Trees don't rush to grow taller overnight. Flowers don't compare themselves to the flowers next to them. The ocean doesn't hurry its waves. The sun never wakes up late because it was too busy yesterday. Everything in nature follows its own rhythm. Only humans have decided that life should always feel like a competition. Maybe that's why spending time in nature feels so peaceful. It reminds us of something we've forgotten. Life was never meant to be rushed. Slowing down doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It doesn't mean becoming less ambitious. It simply means choosing to enjoy the journey instead of only chasing the destination. Many people think slow living means moving to the countryside, quitting their jobs, or living in a small cabin in the mountains. It can mean that for some people, but for most of us, slow living begins with much smaller choices. It begins with drinking your morning coffee without looking at your phone. It begins with taking a walk and actually noticing the trees, the sky, and the people around you. It begins with listening when someone is speaking instead of thinking about what you'll say next. It begins with eating your dinner without scrolling through social media. Small moments. Simple moments. Yet these moments slowly change the way we experience life. The problem isn't that we don't have enough time. The problem is that our attention is constantly being pulled in 100 different directions. Every notification asks for our focus. Every advertisement tells us we need more. Every social media post makes us wonder whether we're falling behind. It's exhausting. Sometimes we don't even realize how tired we've become until we finally sit in silence. and silence can feel uncomfortable. Not because silence is bad, but because we're no longer used to it. Our minds have forgotten how to rest. That's why learning to slow down is a skill. And like every skill, it takes practice. One of the simplest ways to begin is to create small pauses throughout your day. Take one deep breath before opening your laptop. Watch the sunrise instead of checking your emails first thing in the morning. Put your phone away while eating dinner. Spend 10 minutes reading a book before bed instead of endlessly scrolling. These habits may seem insignificant, but over time, they transform the way you feel. Another powerful habit is learning to say no. Many of us are busy because we believe we have to say yes to everything. Another meeting, another project, another invitation, another responsibility. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't truly matter, you're saying no to something that does. You're saying no to rest, no to your family, no to your health, no to yourself. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. One lesson I've come to appreciate is this. Life is not measured by how many tasks you complete. It's measured by the moments you remember. Years from now, you probably won't remember every email you answered. You won't remember every deadline you met, but you'll remember laughing with someone you love, watching the sunset after a long day, hearing the rain outside your window while drinking a warm cup of tea, holding someone's hand when they needed you. These are the moments that quietly become the story of your life, and they rarely happen when you're rushing. So today, I'd like to leave you with one simple question. If life continues at this pace for the next 5 years, will you be proud of the way you're spending your days, or will you wish you had slowed down sooner? Remember, slowing down doesn't mean you're falling behind. It means you're paying attention. You're choosing presence over pressure, peace over perfection, meaning over speed, because at the end of the day, life isn't a race to the finish line. It's a collection of ordinary moments, and those ordinary moments become extraordinary when we're truly present for them. So, take a deep breath. Put your phone down for a little while. Look up at the sky. Call someone you care about. Enjoy your next meal without distractions. Take a walk without a destination, and remind yourself that it's okay to move at your own pace. The world may never stop, but you can, and sometimes that's exactly what your heart has been asking for all along. Thank you so much for spending these moments with me today. If this episode helped you slow down, even for just a few minutes, I hope you'll share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, be kind to yourself, take one step at a time, and remember, life isn't happening tomorrow. It's happening right now.